Hi, I'm Van Wallach in Katona, New York. And I'm sitting here today in my TV room. And what do you see behind me? My TV. And what do you hear? Nothing. What do you see? Nothing. And that's by choice. I've decided to leave it off for a while so I can enjoy the benefits of quiet, something that I've carved out of the restrictions that I'm experiencing here in the quarantine space. So I started thinking about this because working at home, I have a morning exercise routine I do. And I found that I became very conscious of like trying to be distracted while I'm working out. So I had on the cable TV system and I went from, I like music videos, so I went from VH1 to MTV to BET to CMT and Latin channels, and the problem was that they're very chopped up and a lot of the music I didn't really care for. So then I moved on. I tried to watch Turner Classic Movies, which I enjoyed a lot, but watching just a little bit of a classic movie while I'm exercising is a little limiting, so I started looking for other things. So then I discovered podcasts, which I've talked about before, and I really like listening, say, to Hebrew and Jewish learning podcasts in the morning when I'm exercising, when I'm doing my stomach crunches and my lifts with the heavy weights and, feeling the burn. But, when I'm doing that and the weights are clanking, then listening to Talmudic discussions doesn't really work because that requires a higher degree of concentration. So I started looking around and what else could I find? So then I discovered Swagat TV, hope I'm pronouncing that right, which has Indian programming, especially clips from Bollywood musicals. And I found I really like these. I love the kind of splashy cast of thousand dancing. The performers are very sensual with a lot of belly dancing, and they're just a great thing to watch. Very different from the kind of gloomy, angry-looking videos you see on U.S. stations. That worked for about 2 or 3 days for me, and then I realized I was seeing the same great music videos over and over again. So as much as I enjoyed them, anytime I turned on the TV and looked at Swagat TV, I was getting either videos I'd seen before, interspersed between religious programming and movies. So I got pretty tired of Swagat TV. So that brought me to another spin where I went back to Turner Classic Movies and I went back to the music channels on my cable TV provider, which they don't have commercials, but the problem is that they have a very limited playlist. So if I'm listening to Singers and Swing, I'm going to get basically the same performers over and over again. And as great as they are, I need a little bit of variety in my music. So I started thinking that maybe I could try just being quiet. That's kind of a radical idea for me because I got used to kind of the mad clicking around to try to find some kind of neural blast, the next bit of some kind of eye candy for my attention. But lately I've found I'm getting more comfortable with just quiet. I mean, I sit here, I can hear the birds chirping. I can hear the cats running around. I can hear the Metro North trains rumbling by about a mile from here. And it made me wonder that maybe that's not such a bad thing in a quarantine. Maybe kind of this mad effort to find some kind of distraction all the time and multitasking is actually a way of hiding, a way of not really listening to whatever's going on inside me, be it fear of what's going on or indifference to things or maybe feeling good about where things are in life. I don't know, but if you're always got divided attention, then you're just not going to have time for what else is going on. So this kind of takes me back to the quarantine. There are a lot of things we can't do. I always love going into New York to shows and museums. Can't do that. Like going to Pleasantville, New York for movies. Can't do that. So, but I did find if I keep quiet, and this could be either at work or exercising, that I can kind of hear things that are going on at home within me. And lately, like when I'm exercising, I find that my body's telling me to do a few more reps when I do the overhead presses with the 20-pound weight, which is quite a breakthrough for me. So thank you, Van's Body, for that message. Doesn't mean I don't like music. I still listen to it a lot up in my home office, depending on the workload and my mood. You know, Latin music, Israeli music, Brazilian music, classical music, the American Songbook. I dig it all still, but I'm moderating it. If I want things to be quiet, I'll do that. I don't have to keep it on. So I guess the lesson in all this is that within the strictures of quarantine, look for those tiny little areas of variation and improvisation that you can find. It may be not distracting yourself with music or food or movies or whatever. It could be walking down a new street. It could be going back to something you used to do in the past, like studying a language and not doing it. It could be doing things like turning the compost in the backyard where I'm always dumping things. So that's kind of the message. I like where things are. It's like an experiment. See what's going on in my mind right now, and I feel good about it. And I like the quiet. It's almost like being in a it's almost like being in a library. So that's it. Stay safe and stay informed and stay free. Thank you.